Hey guys, and welcome to Let's Build. Now, this is a curious episode this week because we're not building anything new. No, we're not. But don't change the channel just yet. I wanted to put the whole build of the Evil Fortress episodes 1 straight through to 11 into one video. So here it is, approximately 24 hours of Minecraft build time condensed down into 15 fantastic minutes of non-stop, super sped up building. Originally, the Evil Fortress I'd built in my head was about a quarter of the size of the one that sprung up eventually. And I have regrets, like every build. There are things I would have gone back and done differently another time. Certain things I would have built, certain things I wouldn't have built, and certain things I would have just built slightly differently. Chief amongst those is probably the demon that guards the Evil Fortress. He's a bit of a weird one, and the proportions for him are slightly out. But overall, I'm extremely happy with the build, and to be honest, I loved every second of the Evil Fortress build. So what I wanted this episode was to explain to you guys what we're going to be building next. I've been through most of the comments, and there's been quite a few suggestions. From pyramids to facing worlds, military bases to industrial type builds. But by far the biggest request was for a dwarven stronghold. And most of those requests wanted to see it seated inside a large mountain, like a traditional style Lord of the Rings dwarven fortress. And this isn't a request that's just been in the comments of this video. Throughout the whole of my builds, from castle to kingdom, village to evil fortress, people have always requested that I build a dwarven fortress, and it makes sense since Simon, being a dwarf, would love to live there, I'm sure. So that's going to be the next build. A dwarven fortress hidden inside a massive, massive mountain. But I wanted to base it on something. Most of my builds come from mixing improvisation and imagination with existing structures and ideas. And I feel that the best way to build a large project without losing your way halfway through is to base it on something. If your imagination ever falters, or if you run out of ideas, you can always fall back on previously established ideas present in the structures and buildings that inspired you in the first place. So okay, we need to be inspired by something that already exists, but there are no dwarf strongholds in real life. So where could we find inspiration for a dwarven fortress? Well, we have to fall back and rely on fiction. So where else are we going to look for dwarven fortresses than, that's right, Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So, I'm going to try and base the new stronghold on the lonely mountain dwarven city Erebor. But that's not all. We're going to be moving to a newer version of Minecraft too. And it's about time, really, to be honest. The previous Let's Builds we've done, Kingdom, Evil Fortress, Village, all of those, have all been on, I think, Minecraft 1.2.5. And that's pretty ancient now. It's a huge constraint on our building. There's a load of extra blocks and textures added to the new versions that are just out of our reach and unavailable. So, moving to a newer version of Minecraft gives us a lot more flexibility and means our buildings should look a lot better, enhanced by the wealth of extra materials we have at our disposal in the form of new blocks and new textures. So, to get a mountain the size of what we need for Erebor, we're going to need to use World Edit to create a man-made mountain, bigger than any other present on a generated world. It's to fit a whole dwarven city inside a mountain, we're going to need to create something huge, massively huge. So I think the first episode is most likely to be the creation of Lonely Mountain. A colossal, man-made, snow-capped mountain surrounded by a village and town out front to support the dwarven city. So from there we'll be crafting the entrance, the outlying town, and then once those are done, it'll be time to enter the mountain itself, hollowing it out with World Edit, creating vast open spaces inside, so that we can dig out the deep dwarven grand halls you associate with an impressive dwarven city. With the Middle-earth theme behind us, the options for inspiration and ideas are almost limitless. The books and movies are a great resource for researching the theme and look of any building we'd want to include in the city itself or in the outlying town. I really enjoyed building the Evil Fortress, and I think I'm really going to enjoy building Erebor. It's pretty cool to watch this build all take place over the course of just 15 minutes. To think that this was 24 hours of non-stop creative building is quite overwhelming. But I do have an overwhelming sense of achievement. When you kind of finish these massive builds, you can sit back and finally think, wow, that's really awesome. I'm done. I can take a break and just relax because that was epic and that was awesome. Unfortunately, that there is still really, in truth, so much left to be done with the Evil Fortress because we've only touched the exteriors. But to craft the interiors, all the rooms, would take at least just as long, maybe even twice or 3 times as long. But it's something we'd have to do if we wanted to use the map for anything like a kind of PvP experience or an adventure map. We definitely need to come back and flesh out the internals of our Evil Fortress. But there aren't any plans to do anything like that, for the moment at least. And the key now is to focus on our next project and our next build. In some ways it can be even more daunting when you finish a project because you have to think about the next one. What will you build next? How can you top what you've just done? Will it be more epic? Are you going for something a bit more subtle? Do you need a change of pace? after everything you've been through? And do you need a change of theme, or perhaps setting? So thanks again for your time and your patience, because it's taken us a long time to get to the end of the Evil Fortress and to get to our next project. Facing World is something we will come back to at some point. I do want to wrap up there and get things sorted. It's just, on top of everything else, it's taken a back seat. But don't worry, it's still in our list of things to do, and it will be completed. If you have any ideas at any point, suggestions, or even advice, make sure you always do pop it in the comments section, because I do make a point of skimming through the comments to see if there's anything I missed, or if there's anything that you guys can tell me that might improve my building technique. Always remember that your greatest resource as a builder are other builders. The best place to get ideas is from other people. And working with other people on collaborations can also be really cool as well, and a lot of fun. While I build everything on my own, one of the most fun things you can do in Minecraft is have a joint project with your friends and a common goal that you can all strive together to meet, challenge, and overcome. So here we are, we're almost there, almost at the end of our Evil Fortress build. And this was the entire thing, from start to finish. From random forest section to large stone crucible, the crucible then filled with lava, an obsidian platform created in the center, then expanding because we wanted the fortress to be bigger. And then from there it was to put down the foundations in stone brick and start building up. We reached over the obsidian platform and grew outside of our bonds to place guard towers on the outside of the lava pit, and then connected the bulk of it together with walkways, bridges, and all kinds of gothic, evil-feeling designs and architecture. I'm really looking forward to changing to the new version of Minecraft, actually. And one of the things I was considering was a texture pack change, because if we're moving to Lonely Mountain, there are a bunch of things that we're going to want to build with, like perhaps bronze and gold, and perhaps some more grey stone for the kind of dwarven structures, the internals of the grand dwarven halls. Also, I'm getting a little bit tired of the photorealism texture pack that I've used. As glorious and great as it is, it does kind of constrict you. Often you're stuck with what you can build by what your texture pack allows you to with the materials you're given. So it'd be nice to try something new, something fresh. But of course it has to be high definition and high resolution so that the overall build looks suitably impressive. A grand dwarven fortress needs a grand texture pack indeed. So there we are, the Evil Fortress complete. The whole thing built in 15 minutes. So I've been Sjin. Hit like and favourite if you enjoyed the episode and want to see more. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.